Magandang umaga sa inyo mga kabayan. I just wanted to talk about this again, SONA, specifically on the drug policy. Kasi masyadong nakatutok sa drug policy. Ang bottom line ito, the President's drug war is a phony. Number one, the punitive approach to handling drugs has failed. In fact, kung tutusin mo, in 1972, there were only like 20,000 supposedly drug users in the Philippines. By 2004, it had risen to 6 million. During that time, President Marcos even had the death penalty and had those public executions of drug pushers. Ano nangyari? Nothing. In fact, as I mentioned, from 20,000, nagiging 6 million. This prohibition policy is a failed policy. If you look at it from the point of view of history, we need to learn the lessons of the 1912 alcohol prohibition era. During the time, all that happened with prohibition was simply to create corrupt cops. As you can see, marami na tayong corrupt na cops who are protecting drug lords, or in fact become drug lords themselves. Meron din tayong issue about the police generals protecting cops, or protecting drug lords, or even senators protecting drug lords, or even political parties like the Liberal Party who is alleged to have funded their campaign using drugs. And even in Davao, there's this lingering issue that the death of the small-time drug pushers is actually a way for a drug cartel who is already in power to monopolize the supply of drugs in the city. So, bottom line nito, what people need to realize is that ang ginagawa lang ng gobyerno is to artificially reduce the supply. When you reduce the supply of drugs, given the high demand, you increase the price. When you increase the price of drugs, it becomes a temptation for poor people to sell drugs. But these poor people end up being caught in the crossfire of the really big drug cartels who are already in control of government. So ang bottom line dito, a rational drug policy has been shown to us by other countries in the world. For instance, Portugal. Portugal has decriminalized drugs. It is still illegal, but you don't go to jail. Instead, you are treated as somebody who is sick, who's got a disease. So therefore, yung mga drug addict end up in rehabilitation centers, and drug addiction was reduced by 50% since the policy has been introduced in Portugal. The same thing happened when marijuana was decriminalized in Colorado. All the drug cartels moved out. Okay? The supposed increase of marijuana use among the young didn't materialize. Dahil number one, hindi na siya bawal. So wala na yung temptation na masarap yung bawal. So instead of killing our poor people in the name of a useless drug war, in the name of security, it is time to legalize drugs, to decriminalize the use of drugs instead of killing people. Ang bottom line kasi nito, ginagamit ang drugs as a scapegoat for the failure of government to improve the economy. Because in the first place, the government does not have the power to improve the economy. Only an open, free market where people are able to voluntarily exchange goods and services without government intervention brings in development. Okay? So, hanggang sa muli kabayan, magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat.